it's Thespa. Welcome back to part 4 of the Joy of Cooking Junk Journal. Today I'm working on some flips. Well, I'm working on a lot more than that, but I went through all of my pages that I had torn out, and I am working on making some pages for some flip outs for the pages that I chose for the signatures. And a lot of these pages are, kind of older papers, and they're really thin and, a little bit brittle, so I am going to be backing them with some scrapbook paper. This is, let's see, this is Color Box Wild and Free, and it's a very thin scrapbook paper. I didn't want anything too thick because I don't want my book getting too crazy, but so I am going to be gluing these down, and I'm going to leave some space on either side so that I can create, a flip. Since I don't know which pages are going for which pages in my book, the flip could be on either side depending on where I decide to put them. So I'm going to be leaving some space on both sides of the vintage page that I want to keep. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone, but yeah, so been talking to some friends and family today, just kind of touching base with everyone and making sure everyone is safe and okay, and reaching out to those that I care about, and some friends, and to you guys. I hope you guys are all doing well, but kind of trying to stay as connected as possible while also while being home, staying away from everyone, but trying to still be connected. So crazy times we're living in history right now, but yeah. So for now, I'm just going to glue these down, and I'm planning on sewing around these pages just to give them a little bit more nicer looks. So cut these down. So I'm going to make sure that these flips are a little heavier because I'm going to be adding some pockets to these flips as well. So then, when you go to flip it, either one side or the other will be a flip. So then you would take this side and you would glue it to the book page, and so then that would become a flip. So then this can either be on a page like this and flip out like this, or I can put it on the other side, depending on which page which side my page is facing. I'm tongue-tied today. So, or it could be, on the edge of a page and flip out like that. So that's why I'm leaving extra, and then whichever one I don't use, I can just go ahead and trim off. So that's what I'm doing for now. Some page flips. So, I have this page, this side that I like, that I want to be, shown in my journal. And so, when you flip it out, it'll have a patterned background on it. But, and I love, the aging on this, the natural aging. Some of the cooking type ephemera will have stains on it because, it's been cooked with. There's been, grease pops and food spills and splatters, and, just never know. All kinds of interesting life, it's had some life to it. okay with that. I really am. I was in my studio today, and I was, first thing I got up this morning, and I was feeling a little bit better. I still have a cough, still a very low fever. It's the lowest it's been in like 2 weeks, so thank goodness for that. I think I'm about to kick this thing, but, I got up this morning, had a little bit more energy, and got in here and started cleaning up some stuff, organizing, making more room in my creative area, and that made me feel actually a lot better, because it has started to get pretty piled, because I've been doing a lot of projects in here, over the last few weeks, and you know how it is when you're creating, you get your creative mood going, and then, well, next thing you know, you're on to the next project, and the stuff for the last one's just kind of set to the side. Before you know it, you got a lot of stuff set to the side, and it's gets piled over time. At least it does when when I'm creating. That's how I create. I create a mess. So I was glad to get that kind of cleaned up a bit this morning, and kind of organized some of my supplies. I still could not find my page protectors. I know I have some somewhere. At least I think I have some somewhere. I'm afraid that I may have used them for making shaker cards out of Harry Potter game cards. And that's the last time I remember having them, and I'm hoping I didn't use them all for my shaker cards, but if I did, then, there won't be any in this recipe book, but I was really wanting to put some of those into my recipe book, but if I can't find any by the time I go to put my pages in, then there won't be any. So I'm definitely not making a special trip to get out and get some. I guess I could order some from Amazon, but I'm trying to be careful about money. Not spending any money that I don't have to spend right now, because, the economy is not so great right now, so we've got to be mindful of that and try to hold on to the dollars as best we can. Never know when you might need them more down the road. So, even though I am seriously jonesing for some thrift store shopping, I don't know if any of you are feeling the same way, but yeah, I miss my thrift stores. Wishing I could get out and go thrift shopping, but that's not a thing right now, which is okay. Just thrill of the hunt. Not like I don't have enough stuff. It's fun to get out and do stuff once in a while. But it's been really nice having time to craft and things. So I'm liking how these are turning out. These will be nice to have ready. Trying to stick with the kind of a retro theme, and I think these papers kind of did a good job of keeping to that theme. The prints on them have pretty much stayed right on and true. So I love this Reynolds aluminum booklet that I found. I love the color of it and just how aged it is and stuff, so I'm excited to use it in my junk journal. got my sewing machine set up over to the side now after I reorganized everything so that, because when I had it set in here, the window is right there, so all of the light that was coming in was being blocked by the sewing machine, and you couldn't really see very well what I was doing. It was kind of dark, so I think having it set over there to the side will help that. Some of the light gets over there better now. So, and I just pulled a couple of totes over from the side of my studio, and have my sewing machine sitting on top of my totes. And I'm going to be working on these on the signature pages of my journal today, like putting in flips and stuff, and I'm going to be doing some sewing, and I didn't want to have to go, back and forth trying to sew and stuff in the same spot where I was working, so I just set it up over to the side. So I think that's going to work out pretty well. I mean, I'm not like sewing fabric or anything there, I'm just sewing pages, so there's plenty of room. Here, I'll show you guys. So this is my table, and there's my window, and then here's all of my big mess of stuff. I'll do a pan here. Yep, I've got a big mess. Big mess. But right here is my sewing machine that I set up, and all of this is, stuff I'm working with and working on, and it's just a big mess, but there we are. That's what I'm working on today. That's what I'm working with. But I do love working in front of this window because, if I get stuck or if I get tired, I can just kind of look out the window. There's a deer out there pretty often, and birds, and the cats walk by ever so often, and so it's kind of a nice place to sit and work, because I still feel like I'm outside. I got a nice big window, and so pretty cool. It's kind of dusty. I've had this table over here for a while. Can't really get to that window, but at some point I'm gonna have to clear out this room because I'll be moving. But alrighty, so there's all of my page flips, my pre-made page flips. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and sew around all of them right now. And I'll get this situated. Okay, so I'm just going to go around. I decided to do this in pink because I wasn't happy with the blue I was using because it was a darker blue. I wanted to use turquoise, but I don't have any. I'm not going to the store to get some. So I do have pink though, so a lot of my colors are turquoise and pink, so pink's alright with me. I think it'll be cute. So, I think that's going to be pretty cute. I'm just going to keep on going. when you're sewing on paper, most of you probably know this already, but when you sew on paper, you got to use your longest stitch. If your stitches are too close together, you'll basically just make a big hole in your paper. They can tear it. I'm going to pay attention to your tensions, top tension and bottom tension. You shouldn't have to change your bottom tension much, but your top tension, keep an eye on that. If you don't know how to change tension, there's a lot of videos on YouTube that will show you how to do that. But yeah, I think I like that pretty much. Some pink in there. A few more pages to go here. This one is actually yellow. Most of them are some form of turquoise. I like the pattern on this yellow. It's very retro. Another benefit of having my sew machine to the side is I can sew as fast as I want, and it's not shaking the camera because it's not on the same table. I was having trouble with that the other day. Page. And then for those of you who don't know, just a quick tip. When you're sewing paper, obviously paper is very fragile. So when you're done sewing and you go to pull it off, if there's any kind of tension there, you don't want to pull on it, right? The reason that it can get stuck there sometimes is because this little lever, the take-up lever right there, is not all the way in the up position. If it's not all the way in the up position, then the threads haven't finished their rotation in the area down below, and that can keep it from pulling free. So make sure that your take-up lever is in the highest level, so you can see it goes up and down when the needle goes up and down. So it has to be at the top so that you can pull those threads freely, and then you won't end up ripping your pages. Just a little tip. Now, if you do this and you've gone too far, you can always just lift your presser foot, pull your paper a little further in, and then drop your needle manually. Sometimes I'm not paying attention and I go too far, and if it takes one more stitch, it'll be off the page. So I'll often have to readjust that. this page. It has my favorite recipes in turquoise. I'm going to put that on the very first page of my journal, I think. This will be the flip for the first page. So I think that was kind of awesome. So, got those ready to go. I'll flip back around. Okay, so I've got those page flips done, and a lot of these page flips are going to have another flip on this side, so these double sides are going to come in handy, because not only is it going to be attached on one side or the other. Let's say that this is my page, okay, in my junk journal. Now, if I wanted this to be a flip on this side of the page, then I can attach it there. Now have this one, and I can put another page here and make another flip if I want to. Or vice versa. If this is the outside of my page, obviously, then I'll have this flip here. And then again, I can put another page on this and have it flip out. So having it on both sides is pretty handy until I really decide what I want to do in my book. So, until everything is completely done, I'm going to leave both sides on. And then at the very end, I can always decide, you know what, I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use that extra flip, and then I can cut it off. So that is a good idea for doing flips, to have that on both sides, unless you absolutely know what you're going to be doing. So I've got lots of awesome page flips here, and I am very excited to get those into my book. They were very easy to make, and I think they're going to be lots of fun. So I think, well, here, I'll show you. On the front one, I have gone through my signatures and just kind of tucked things in, kind of where I want them to be. Like, for instance, I've decided that this will be a pocket on this page. And then, you know, I've got some random things. This will be a page flip out this way. You know, I've got a lot of different things peeking out and put in. This is going to be a pocket page for that side. You know, I've still got to sew those. So a lot of the pages I am already. This is an ice cream booklet thing, and this is going to be a pocket on that page. So I've got my pieces tucked in where I want to use them. And then I've decided that these are going to be pockets as well for the scrapbook pages, because they're heavy enough to hold them, because this is pretty thick stuff. So I'm going to be sewing around those pages just to make kind of like a tuck spot, kind of a pocket there. You know what, I can go ahead and work on this one, since it's on the first page here. And so this one here, I'm going to do a tuck or a flip out for this page. Go ahead and glue that on. And you can kind of see how that works out. I mean, everybody knows what a flip is. Flip out is, so that's going to be there. And then this I'm going to put here to turn this into a pocket, but I want to cut it down a little bit. Scissors, because I don't want it to be all the way to the inside. So I don't want it to be too close to where it's going to be attached to the books. So this is another sheet that is kind of fragile. So I'm going to back it with some of this as well. Try to use up waste as little stuff as I can here. Because this is going to be a pocket, I kind of want to reinforce it a little bit so that, you know, when I'm taking things in and out of it, I'm not tearing it. I want it to last. I don't want it to just start tearing. It's already got a little tear at the top. So there's that. Now then, my pocket is nice and sturdy, and you know, it's not going to tear by using it and putting things in it, which is pretty nice. So and I love that this has some of my favorite things to eat, and it's going to be on the inside of my favorite recipes flip out. So that's kind of fun. And then if I want to, I may go back and I found another cookbook, but I just love that it has a lot of these cool hand-drawn images, and they're like turquoise and stuff. So you know, I may end up taking something like this and making another flip page to put, you know, to put there, so that I can really utilize that space. But for now, I'm just going to leave that one, you know, just like it is, and be happy with that until I decide what to do. But then this is a pocket, and then I can put something here if I want to. I think I'm really going to like that. So then I have this little thing here that I want to sew in to make a tuck spot for the back. So now then, that's that one, and plenty of room for a tuck there. I love her. She's just so cool. I love how, you know, she's kind of sitting down and she's got her journal, and you know, she's meal planning in this picture, but you know, to me she's like, you know, recipe junk journal. So that kind of went well. So So, now then, kind of a dark spot there. There. This giant bottle of glue was creating a dark spot right there. So, yeah, that's the front cover, and then this is the signature that goes inside. And I like this for a pocket here, but the scalloped edge, I do like the scalloped edge, but the scalloped edge has to go because that's going to be a nightmare trying to put things in there with a scalloped edge. So I just need to decide. I think I'm going to go with the pink. And I guess I could go ahead and use this stuff. See how that looks. Since the pocket's going to be over this part here, it's not going to show up anyway, so. Well, if that's going to make it show up or not. To try and see. I don't know if that helped at all or not, but I can always take my like white paint pen and go across that just fine. So there's a pocket there. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with how that's turning out. Got a pocket there, and then, you know, this pocket back here, or a tuck spot. So, see what else I can do. I'm thinking about doing this as a flip out right there. Because the bottom of this is pretty stained, although, you know, I don't mind the stains, but I'm probably going to use that for another project. Then if I do this here, then I'm not covering that up, and I can put that there. Or maybe I'll just use it right here. No, not long enough. Just hit this little go-to thing right here. This one actually already has a line on it, so it should be fairly easy to fold. Okay, there's that cute little flip there. Okay. And not sure if I'm going to use that one there or not, so, but this one I definitely want to use here, but I want to make this page a little skinnier because to me it sticks out too far. So I'm just going to feather it in a little bit. Okay, so there's that now. Nice little pocket there. This one I need to trim down and sew around. But before I sew around it, these are going to be pocket pages, and I want to be able to get into them. Hang on. So, before I go and sew them together, I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to measure them, and one more second. Do you ever clean and then you forget where you put things? Alright, so this is 8 1/4. So right here is my center point. Okay, So, I'm going to go about halfway-ish. And I'm going to pop out a piece like that. That way, I can actually get into that pocket after it's sewn. So, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And it's kind of handy because all I got to do is line that up. And that puppy is ready. So, let's see here, I'll do it this way. I love this image, like, oh, yum, all the yum. And I also love this image, it's so beautiful. So, there's that one. Now I just got to sew around it. Okay, so literally all I had to do was sew down each side because this is going to be folded, and then my pages can go inside. So, and they are ready to go. So cool. I love these. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so now this is going to go right here. I mean, how fun is that? Actually, I won't do it this way. But this is going to be my center so that I can really enjoy the whole picture. Obviously, you know, this will end up getting flips and stuff on that, but for now, that's where that's at. So then this one, I kind of wonder if I don't want to put this right here, just to decorate that up. Or, do I want to put it right here? Nope. I think I'm going to put it right there just because it makes me happy. And maybe I'll just do it like kind of like a pocket so that it can be a very small tuck spot. Okay. I don't know why. That just made me happy. I mean, it's a piece of a Proctor Silex ice cream pamphlet thing. So it just, that scalloped edge just made me happy. So I like it there. So very cute. Alright, so this one is going to go on this side of this. I think I want to do the edge. I should have done this to my other one, but such is life. And when I'm inking, I'm kind of doing it at kind of a 45-degree angle so that I'm not, I don't accidentally touch this 90-degree angle to my paper because, you know, if you do that, then you're going to get a 90-degree square print on your paper, unless you want that. So you always kind of keep it at a 45-degree angle, and it's always going to work for you and not give you, you know, unwanted, I want to kind of mute that a little bit by rubbing it with my finger. So, yeah, I like that because it kind of gives it a little bit of definition there. I gotta fold this in first. It's too wide. I don't really like how wide these pages are. Even though these are the original pages from the Joy of Cooking book, these long ones are. I don't want my, when you put them in a new signature with thicker things, they tend to stick out farther or too far, farther than you want them to. So, alrighty then. Like that. Let me see. Got a nice little pocket there. Okay. And the rest of this I haven't quite figured out yet. So, I think I am going to leave this there with this one because it's getting too long. And, if I upload an hour-long video, it takes almost 2 hours to upload it with my phone. So, I'm trying to make them just a little bit shorter, even if it's like 45 minutes or something. Anyway, thanks very much for watching and following along. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will do my best to answer them. And love seeing what everybody else is doing. So I will probably be by to visit at some point soon. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!